Hi guys, Josh from Smith Boys Racing. Just in the garage again, a couple of days after the round two. Round two BRTS at North Brisbane. Just doing some servicing on the Honda. So just run you through this. I just put a bit of thought into this. It's just a little bit of a formula I put together to have a bit of success on these modern sidecars. So this is a formula I put together: reliability divided by finances multiplied by fitness divided by the size of your balls times by the frequency you ride divided by your skills. So if I break that down a little bit, I don't have that, a little bit of that, not much of that. So I'll concentrate my energy on these two. I don't really have that either. So that's something I can work on. I think probably the only thing I have going in my favour is reliability. Being a maintenance fitter, reliability is a pretty big part of my sort of career. So this is what I like to focus on. If I'm being realistic, I'm not ever going to win a sidecar title. I don't ride that often, don't have the funds. So this is my formula that I like to stick to. Finances divided by enjoyment times by the frequency. You say, you can read that. Fuck yeah. That's what I sort of like to. This is my formula. I adhere to this one. There's a little side note that finances divided by enjoyment. There should not be a negative number. If you're running into a negative on this one, you might need to talk to somebody. You might have an addiction. It's quite addictive, quite a thrill. But that's what we aim for. That phrase there, that's what we want to. If you're saying that you're having fun, you're getting enjoyment. It's the only reason you do it. So, reliability. This is my to-do list. Let's have a look at the bike. Going over the bike. This is it here. Up on jack stands, just so that I can pull all the covers off, give the bike a good once over. Reliability is the key for me. Reliability and fun. So, draining some oil out. What I like to do now, I got an old 3-litre milk container. I like to just check the viscosity of the oil as it comes out. You make sure it's still got colour. This is the stainless steel mixing bowl that I pinched from the kitchen. Bit of clutch dust in the bottom there. That's fine. You'd expect that. Nothing concerning there. I do all the filters in the mixing bowl. Clean it out after every time. Once I get the oil in this bottle, I'll go tip it on some weeds along the fence line or something in the yard. Another thing I like to do, I get curious. So I got the oil filter off it, took to it with a hacksaw. Probably should have done it with tin snips though, to get the element out of it. This was the paper element. So I like to see what's going on inside the engine. I can pull it apart like a bit of film. I like to get a torch or out in the sunlight, direct sunlight onto it. Just want to make sure we've got no metal, no bronze particles or anything in it. We'll see any potential failures inside the engine. By doing this is what I like to do. You can really stretch that out. What I did find inside it, a little bit of grey. It was just a bit of 3-bond. Given that they don't run gaskets on these late model motors, the clutch cover and the sump and everything is put on with RTV or 3-bond. So that I'd expect to see a little bit of that in there. That doesn't concern me. So yeah, what I'll do now, I run 300V factory line, 10W40. So the volume, the cut down sump, it takes about 3 litres. The price of this, it varies depending where you can get it from. You can get it for about 140 if you're lucky, anywhere from 140 to 180 for 4 litres. So you usually have 1 litre left over. I'll just keep tipping it into another bottle. Every fourth service, you get a full bottle. So this service, I actually won't have to go and buy any more. I've done enough. I'll do 3 meetings. 3 meetings on the oil, then discard the oil. As you can, like I said before. Got this little book. I just write down, just retain some records, sort of what I do with the bike. Probably, if I'd had any suggestion, things like filters, battery, part numbers, sort of, I've got a sticker on the battery. Luckily, I wrote down the part number before the sticker came off, just so I can go back to it. Now I can see if I need to purchase another battery, I've got the number written down. The filters also, the uni filters, I wrote that number down because the number's not visible anymore. So I've got the part number for that if I need to order more. When they do fall apart, and they do, and you wash them out. I buy these. This is what I use, Filter Clean, Motec. Get it in bulk from MX Store. Might as well get it in bulk because you use it all the time. 1 litre, combined shipping, combined freight. They post it out free. So this time I've just got to purchase, got to get an oil filter. That's the remnants of the oil filter. $21, that's not expensive. Oil I'm right for. Got a bit of a to-do list. Oil change and filter, check the spokes. I'll run the dial indicator over the rims, check all the spokes. Look at the spark plugs. I've got spares here anyway, some Meridian plugs. I'll look at the valve clearances. Went over the bike. The teeth are starting to curl a bit on the rear sprocket, so I'll purchase a new 58 tooth rear sprocket. Just little reliability things I'll go over now. What I got here, got some sunny hose. Tyler Moon did this. It's quite good. He uses this on his rear tyres. You cut a little strip of 100mm or 150mm or something. You put it in like a card. It conforms to the rim. They're quite good. But I purchased this. It was about 2 meters. I got for about $20 from the irrigation store. So I cut little pieces off it. Similar to what I do at work. Anywhere that a hose rubs on the bike, sort of down here, I'll put a bit of sunny hose underneath it just to stop, sort of friction and rubbing through hoses. I've got those quite liberally around the bike. I'll put them on most hoses. Anywhere that it rubs. I think I've got another one here. It rubs on a bolt. Got them underneath. Yeah, another one here. Hose is going to rub on a bolt. A couple of zippy ties and a little strip of sunny hose. Another little thing I do here, a bit of different coloured paint pens for my cables. I can get a bit dense sometimes. I don't like to think too much, so I colour coded all the cables when they go on. Also, on the throttle linkage, one of the carburetors actually painted, so I know which hole to put them in, so I don't have to think too much. In between meetings, it can be a bit of a stretch sometimes. So if I don't have to think, I can't recall. I just go by the paint marks. What else was I going to talk about? There's a sticker. The sticker I was saying about before. I've got a document. I've documented that number of that battery. It's not visible anymore. Barely visible. If you went to purchase another battery now, good luck. Good luck knowing what it was. So I've got a record of that. Did the same with the fuel pump. Retained all the details of the fuel pump. When I had the clutch out, did the clutch a little while ago. I could tell you the date because it's in the book. Wrote down the part number for the clutch, the date that I did the clutch. Got the date that I did the cable, new clutch cable on it. So I've got the date recorded for that. One thing I would like to do, haven't done on this yet. As you can see, that factory line is green oil in the engine, but also the coolant is green. So if you get a weepy hose clamp or something on your radiator, it ends up coming down onto your tray. That both being green, you wouldn't really know what to look for. What I've done previously and what I like to do, run a different coloured coolant than your oil, so that if you do get a little bit of a weepy radiator hose, or you could have a leak in your sump or something, you can distinguish between the two. You know which one you're going to be looking at, whether it be coolant or an oil leak. Haven't done it on this, they're both green, but I would like to change it. Once I take the engine out, I will top those up with different, so I can distinguish between the two. Just a little thing I like. Record part numbers of that as well. Yeah, that's pretty much it now. Just servicing. Bought that filter today from MX Store. That should be here tomorrow or the next day. Fit the filter up. Just go through my checklist. Get on the TLR for a new sprocket. What I like to do with these, after every meeting, you get a bit of chain lube on them. I don't know if you can see there. These have curled a little bit. They're not quite the profile they should be anymore. So it's not worth the time and effort taking the bike out there to strip a sprocket if it is the one you're going to predominantly run. Rather just get a new sprocket now, not worry about it. Can keep this one as a spare if I really needed to, but I'd rather not run that anymore, just retire that one. What I was going to say, if you come from this side, you can see this build-up of gunk on the sprocket. It's just chain lube. After the meetings, I'll take each sprocket off that I ran. I'll degrease all these and get a green scarra or a little stainless brush. I'll brush all this off. I don't want any of this on next time. I want nice clean sprockets. The same as all these faces as well that your sprockets go onto. When you do turn your sprockets, need to make sure there's no dirt or gunk or burrs on there. If you do put that on and pull it up against a burr, you will have a sprocket that will be not running true. It can cause you issues. So yeah, I'd like to make sure that they're all clean, no dirt or anything when I put them on as well at the meeting. Try and get all that face and the sprocket nice and clean. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just kick around, bit of servicing, go through my list. And one thing that really stands out from the other day, fitness, these variables. If you were to go through this formula, you'd want to get all these variables. You want to get them like a constant. Fitness is a big thing that stands out for me. Pretty happy with their reliability from a bike point of view. Physically, fitness let us down in a big way the other day. That stood out. Was absolutely rooted. Could not turn the bike probably by the fourth or fifth heat. Just the shoulders were gone. 2 days later, I'm walking like a 95-year-old man. All my leg muscles, they're just absolutely cooked. I feel pretty secondhand still. 2 days later, had the deep heat into my legs, also into my arms as well. So yeah, really makes you appreciate the guys at the top level. They could just ride like that through a qualifying meeting, then into the final night of like an Aussie title or something. You watch it from your lounge, and you don't really appreciate how fit these guys are, like the level of fitness and strength that they need to throw these things around for a full night or a 2-night meeting. It's absolutely a real credit to those guys that can do that consistently. So yeah, that's our goal for now. Get the bike ready for June for round 3. Try and make an appearance at that. Get the fitness up, and yeah, try and get the body able to handle this abuse. So no worries, guys. We'll catch us next time. Bye for now.